As long as you're holding and managing the tension between these two truths in a way that serves the family well, hold it for as long as you want. And then when it no longer serves the family, reopen the conversation and get clear about the benefits of both truths.
I'll throw in, and I don't know where this fits in your conversations, but what about forgiveness? Where does that fit in all of this? Because oftentimes, we ended up down a path where we weren't flexible. And in hindsight, we look and say, oh, yeah, we should have been flexible. We should have been more open to a different idea. And we weren't, but we are today because of that. How do you manage that piece?
It's such a great question. I'm going to back up and tell a personal story. When I worked for my father, I mentioned it earlier, we were on the opposite ends of every polarity you could possibly imagine. He was bold and loud and big, and I was humble and small. And he wanted to change everything. I wanted to stabilize everything. He was a marketing person. I was a finance person. We were on opposite ends of everything. And I was convinced I was right. I was convinced that I was right, that I was the better leader, that my way was the right way. And so my mindset when I worked for him was, all right, I'm just going to run this business and make it incredibly profitable on his behalf, because his way of leadership is so disruptive, so problematic, so screaming and yelling, so fist pounding. He doesn't know how to lead. And what it took me a very long time, and frankly, I had to write a book to figure it out eventually, that we were both right. There was great value in many of the aspects of leadership that he brought, and there was value in the aspects of leadership that I brought. And so I had to start by forgiving myself for being such a egotistical, close-minded, confident person that I was right and he was wrong. And of course, all of my assessments of him were born from childhood, right? The way I formed was almost as if I was born to be his opposite. And so it took me a long time to finally recognize and appreciate and value all the goodness that he brought as a leader in the business that I could complement, because he was in many respects in the overuse of his preferred poles. And I was by definition in the overuse all of the opposite poles to balance him out. And so I had to start by forgiving myself and forgiving my father. Neither of us knew. We didn't know. We just were both very confident we were right and the other one was wrong. So as far as forgiveness is concerned, to me, that's just something that comes over time with wisdom, and it's hard fought. And the earlier we can become aware of our own biases and our own self-talk and our own stuff that gets in our own way, the faster it is we can access that level of forgiveness for ourselves and for our family members who make us crazy.
The way you led me through that was really helpful, because I think at the end of the day, it's not about, the process or how you do that. It's about recognizing that there are two truths, and that's the beginning of that piece. And I've been doing some work around this. We talk about forgiveness, it keeps coming up lately for me, and I don't know why. But there's a Hawaiian forgiveness process called Ho'oponopono. And I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's to start with self, and it's, please forgive me. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Oh man, I just did it wrong. I couldn't put the pieces together. Thank you, and I love you. Thank you. Those are the 4 steps of that. And so I'll say it one more time so people can get this. But it's Ho'opono. Forgive me. I'm sorry. Thank you. I love you. And then you put those pieces together, and just thinking about that to yourself in regards to your father, and just saying that to yourself and directing it towards your father will lighten a whole lot of different pieces. But I just thought it's a beautiful process to be thinking about, and it doesn't necessarily say that you have to go out and say that to that person. That's really powerful if you can do that, but just directing those thoughts towards that person is a really good place to start.